Hello everyone, this is Garrett, and this is Radical Dreamers for the Super Nintendo, brought to you by GameAnyone.com, and pretty much only available in Japan, but this is an English translation. Pretty much a text adventure, which kind of fits into the Chrono Cross universe, but not really. It was then that I opened the notebook my mother had given me. She said she found it while cleaning out the closet. Crumbling and covered with dust, it turned out to be the diary of my long-lost grandfather. Do you still remember? How we first met and all our adventures since. It all seems like such a dream nowadays. You were a piece of a star that fell from the sky. Whenever I want to return to those days long gone, I close my eyes and whisper your name into the evening sky. Kid. 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 Hey, kid. Are you ready, kid? I know you're anxious, but stay on your toes. Yeah, likewise, mate. Mess up and I'm leaving you behind. Come on, Majo. That bastard Lynx is gonna get what he deserves. Say your prayers. Not that it'll do you any good. And so pretty much begins our adventure. It is pretty much a text adventure game with some extra choices here and there. And, yeah, hope you'll enjoy it. This is a little different from what I usually do, but there you go. Definitely go with fast text speed, because otherwise it's going to be slow. Very slow. Boy, did her information help. I thought the perimeter's counterspell would be quite a problem. Kid's braid sways gently from side to side in the cool nighttime breeze. So far, we've managed to slip through the magical shield network undetected and sneak into Lynx's domain. Still, this inner region can make for some pretty rough travel. Kid, Magil, and I comprised this party of 3. It's been something like 3 years since Kid and I met. Back then I was a drifter, wandering wherever my music led me. During my stay in the remote town of Agiora, I ended up running into a girl who later joined me, leading to the beginning of all this. That girl was Kid. Kid is a thief, of course. Not even 17 years old, and already she's widely renowned as a top professional. To make matters worse, she's cute, devilishly stylish, and has a sparkling personality. And boy, can she cook, if you ask her, that is. Well, to be completely honest, she has her share of problems as well. She likes to think of herself as kind of a Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but that's just not the case. At times, her sharp tongue can get the best of her, viciously lashing out at everyone who stands in her way. She exaggerates every other word and sometimes lies outright. And as for listening to other people, well, forget it. When it comes to money, well, I've never met anyone greedier in my life. Her relentless pursuit of wealth is ironic, considering she's a nomad like me. I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on her. She has her good points too. She can really shine sometimes when she wants to. Glancing back over my shoulder, I notice a silhouette silently emerge from the grove. Magil. This associate of Kid's is known to us only as Magil of the Shadows. I know next to nothing about him except for the fact that he somehow knew Kid before I came into the picture. A high-class magician of some sort. He looks to be about 30. He usually keeps to himself, though. The top half of his face is covered with a mask at all times. I've never even seen what he really looks like. At times, it seems as though I'm hanging around someone from another world. Traveling with this pack is definitely an interesting experience. Kid's quiet about her past too, but it's like I know her entire life story compared to how little I know about Magil. From time to time, I find myself wondering who he is, where he came from, and so on. I'd ask Kid, but I get the impression she knows as little about him as I do. You might be wondering, how did I end up where I am now? Well, there's a lot of reasons, I suppose. I guess you could say that life doesn't always go how you plan. Suddenly, Kid comes to an abrupt stop. Seems someone wants to say hello. Out of a nearby thicket, two shimmering eyes catch my attention. Whatever it is, it's staring at me silently. After a few moments, a few more pairs of eyes appear. They seem to be surveying the area. A deep feline growl breaks the uncomfortable silence, and I realize we're being hunted by a pack of feral cats. A few of the figures slowly approach from behind the trees. I look behind me only to see they've already encircled us. A few more slowly creep in, now totaling about 10. Chills run down my spine. In a daze, I clumsily unsheathe my knife, grasping it tightly as I bite my lip. Kid stands ready with an air of composure. Careful, mate. These buggers are probably rabid. The growling increases, now a constant rumble all around us. Their yellow eyes shiver like jack-o'-lanterns while saliva drips from their snarling jaws. The middle one's stomach gurgles as its eyes widen, fixed directly on me. Looks like we ain't getting out of this one without a fight. What will we do? We will attack. I slash viciously at a nearby cat. Startled, it leaps back with incredible reflexes. I stay my ground, not getting any closer to the beast. Hearing a howl, I know I've hit my mark. Licking its wound, the animal recovers after a moment of pain. I ready my knife, waiting for my next chance to attack. Surge, behind ya! I turn around to see that I'm now face to face with a pair of those ravenous yellow eyes. I try to attack, but there's no time. I duck as the cat lunges and snaps at me. I smell the bloody odor of the cat's breath as it passes overhead. Just as I think it's past me, I feel its back claws dig into my back. Scrambling out of the way, I manage to shove my knife upwards, planting it deep within the animal's belly. The sound of death can be heard as the cat falls to the ground before me, barely moving. Almost delirious, I lose balance and fall to my knees. Rolling over, I manage to shake off the confusion before any of the other cats can get closer to me. I take a deep breath and try to tighten my grip on my knife, now slippery with sweat. Then out of nowhere, Kid flashes across my field of vision, landing a direct hit onto the cat beside me. The cat screeches in pain as Kid pins it to the ground, stomping and kicking it with all her rage. Without a moment's delay, she boots the animal up underneath its jaw. It moves no more. All of a sudden, the crazed atmosphere gives way to a war cry behind me. I whip around to see Magil's infernal spell setting a cat's head ablaze. It jumps up, screeching and howling in madness before running away wildly. In confusion, it runs directly into a tree and knocks itself out cold. I look around and see that only one of the pack hasn't been taken care of yet. As Kid and I start to close in on it, the beast, it bolts, fearing for its life. Well, that was some work out, eh, mate? Says Kid, coming towards me as she tends to her arm. I take a deep breath as I look around, trying not to step on too many of the bodies. I'll admit I was a little worried back there at times, but nothing too serious happened. I tried talking to Magil despite knowing how he'll react. Are you alright? With an expressionless face, he looks at me dead blankly. You need not worry about me. Wow, the affection is just overflowing from that guy. However, I probably shouldn't start complaining now. We still have a long way to go. We haven't even set foot inside Viper Manor yet. Kid glances over at me, seeming eager as ever, ready to tackle what's next. You gonna hang around all day or what, mate? No way. Let's go. Hey, come here. Trying to ignore my aches and pain, I head over towards Kid. Good job back there, mate. She comes closer. I can see the reflection of the moon in her eyes as she gives me a warm, comforting smile. But come on, we can't just stand around all night. There's treasure waiting to be found. I'm still lost in her eyes as she starts to set off. Magil continues behind her without a hitch. I hurry to catch up behind the two. In a place like this, getting separated would be a bad idea. We continue to make our way through this natural labyrinth of wood and rock. Somewhere quietly waiting within this huge forest, Viper Manor beckons us. Deep within lies the treasure we've come for. Lord Lynx, as he's formerly known, is an aristocrat who governs the Regiona Outlands. From the way Kid talks, he is apparently an old adversary of hers. Tonight, our goal is Lord Lynx's most prized possession, a scarlet jewel known as the Frozen Flame. Besides being priceless, some say this beautiful stone harbors some sort of mystical power. They say many people have sought after the flame, but none have been victorious in stealing it. Viper Manor has claimed many lives, but we will succeed. We pride ourselves on making the impossible possible. Besides, the way Kit talks about Lynx sometimes, it sounds like she got an awfully personal vendetta against him. We can't lose. We've come too far to lose. And so, after having spent countless hours crossing this dreary, lonesome forest, the silhouette of a towering mansion finally comes into view through the trees. We made it! Kit shouts. Your days are numbered, Lynx. We quickly make our move, quietly dashing out from behind a thicket. Once at the mansion wall, we creep stealthily along the perimeter, looking for an entry point. After a short while, we come upon a terrace near a garden which looks relatively inviting. It doesn't look like there are any guards on patrol. Still, the mansion gives off a strange, sort of morbid feeling. It's as quiet as death. Majo gazes up at the towering fortress. We can enter into the west wing from here. There is no need to look elsewhere. Okay, let's go, Kid says, jumping over the terrace handrail. Halt, shouts Majo from behind, staring at Kid. Our goal is the Frozen Flame, not vengeance on Lord Lynx. Remember this, Kid. Aye, no prob, she says, glancing over her shoulder. Ain't gonna be nothing to it, like taking candy from a baby. We'll be out of here before that slimy rat knows what hit him. Yeah, you low-down good-for-nothing bastard, I'll make you pay. There she goes again. Come on, I'm getting tired of waiting around, she yells before bolting into the mansion. Majo shakes his head in silence as I chase after Kid, already deep inside. The darkness engulfs me.